Hello, it's Anne, and today let's read a children's story. This is a very beautiful children's story, so let's read together. I got this from Open Library or the archive.org, and I will put the link down in the description box if you want to check it out. Let's read. The Busy Life of Ernestine Buckmeister. Written by Linda Raven Lotting. Illustrated by Susan Beakey. Each morning, while Ernestine ate breakfast and Nanny O'Dear prepared lunch, Ernestine's father zoomed out to work and called, "Live life to the fullest, Ern." And each morning, Ernestine's mother zipped out to catch the bus and said, "Make every moment county." And each morning, Hugo from next door asked, "Ernestine, do you want to play after school?" But Ernestine never had time, because her busy, well-meaning parents had packed her after-school schedule. On Mondays, she sculpted with clay lumpkin. On Tuesdays, she did water ballet with Miss Goldfisher. On Wednesdays, she knitted with Miss Pearl Stitchum. On Thursdays, she took tuba lessons with Mr. Oopa. On Fridays, she yodeled with little old Lady Who. On Saturdays, she studied karate with Grandmaster Hiya. And on Sundays, she practiced yoga with Guru Prakash Pretzel. Thank goodness to the Buckmeisters had Nanny O'Dear to help Ernestine stay on schedule. Nanny made sure Ernestine got to all her classes, but sometimes they were so busy, things got confused. When Mr. and Miss Buckmeister dashed home from work late one night, she noticed that Ernestine looked pale. "Maybe she needs some face painting lessons," said Mr. Buckmeister. Nanny O'Dear just said, "Oh dear." On her way to lessons each day, Ernestine slowed down long enough to watch Hugo play in his yard. He flip-flopped on his trampoline, giddy-upped like a cowboy, and bounced his ball. One afternoon, Hugo shouted, "Look out!" as his ball sailed over the fence and landed in Ernestine's tuba. Whump! Ernestine bounced the ball to Nanny and squealed, "Bounce it back." "Oh dear," said Nanny, "it's time for tuba." Ernestine sighed and passed the ball back to Hugo. That night, Ernestine practiced yoga in bed. She inhaled and stared at her busy schedule. She exhaled and thought about Hugo and how he got to flip-flop and giddy-up and bounce. Then Ernestine had an idea. The next afternoon, Ernestine announced, "Today, I scheduled something new." "But you have yodeling," said Nanny. "It's written on my—" "Have you seen my calendar? And where is my phone? Oh dear." Ernestine giddy-upped across the yard to the park. "Ernestine," panted Nanny, "and I will be late for yodeling. Or is it knitting?" Ernestine reached the hilltop and flopped onto the grass, pulling Nanny down with her. "Oh dear," muttered Nanny. "Look," Ernestine sang. Nanny stopped huffing and noticed the valley below. "My, the view is heavenly." "That cloud looks like a pineapple," said Ernestine. "No, a bunny. Or whipped cream, suggested Nanny. Before long, they were imagining that they were tiny bugs and the world was huge. Then they were pioneers building a twig fort, and Nanny showed Ernestine how to make a daisy crown. Meanwhile, little old Lady Who called Miss Buckmeister to report that Ernestine had missed yodeling. Miss Buckmeister called Mr. Buckmeister. It's not like Ernestine to get off schedule. I know she's with Nanny, but where could they be? They tried to call Nanny oh dear, but she didn't hear her phone. So the Buckmeisters set out to find their daughter. Have you seen Ernestine? The Buckmeisters asked at knitting class. Miss Stitchum replied without dropping a stitch. Knit one, knit two, purl two. Sorry, I can't help you. They dashed to karate. Hee-yah! Called the Buckmeisters. Is Ernestine here? Grandmaster Hee-yah answered. No, with a flying twist. Maybe she's at water ballet, called Miss Buckmeister. Is Ernestine here? The Buckmeister zoomed to Clary Lumpkin's studio. There were lots of children sculpting, but no Ernestine. They rushed to yoga. Is Ernestine here? They whispered. Guru Prakash Pretzel was meditating, and all he said was Om. Om? Said Miss Buckmeister. Ompa. She must be at tuba. Have you seen Ernestine? Miss Buckmeister yelled over the blaring horns, but Mr. Opa didn't hear a word. By the time they looked everywhere, the Buckmeisters were dazzled and frazzled. This is what poor Ernestine does every week. Miss Buckmeister panted. No wonder she always looks so pale, added Mr. Buckmeister. Then, off in the distance, they heard bubbles of laughter. The Buckmeisters trudged up the hill, and there was Ernestine, her cheeks as rosy as apples. Ernestine Marigold Buckmeister, called Miss Buckmeister. Where have you been? Oh dear, Nanny stuttered. Well, you see, we were right here, Ernestine squealed. It was my idea. We saw pictures in the clouds and rolled down the hill and pretended we were bugs and then I was a princess. And I want to do it again. The Buckmeisters were stunned. I like taking lessons, but can't I stop some of them? Pleaded Ernestine. But how will you live life to the fullest without sculpting and swimming? Asked Mr. Buckmeister. Right, Miss Buckmeister agreed. And how will you make every moment count without yoga and yodeling? Like this, Ernestine said. Everyone inhaled. But then they exhaled. My, the view is heavenly, said Miss Buckmeister. Since that day, Miss Buckmeister bikes to and from work and has taken up gardening. Mr. Buckmeister tries to get home early once a week to build a tree house, and Nanny O'Dear has discovered the joy of flying kites. As for Ernestine, some afternoons she practices karate with Hugo, and sometimes she plays the tuba. and sometimes she just plays. The end. Thank you so much for reading with me. Hope you have a good time listening and reading along. This is truly beautiful. Remember that you don't have to pack your schedule in order to have everything done. Just live to the best of that moment and enjoy life. Enjoy yourselves. Thank you so much. Goodbye.